they heard that song on Wednesday at this point, and it has been periodically playing in my mind. Because I suppose they have their own Siren and each other. Good morning, churchgoers. This is set well. You cannot really see it that well, but this is the best I can do for now. Alright, so there's about 5 people here. I would like to show you some shells first, and then we will work on my fish. Good morning, good morning. So, while we were at the seaside last Sunday, I did find some shells on the beach. However, we were at a public sand beach, so there were not so many shells there. But I did find some. They were just very small. Although we then did find a small shop which sold shells near the seaside, and they were very affordable, so I took a few, and I would like to show you some that we will keep. I also took some that are gifts. However, I will not show those because some are gifts for people here and some are gifts for people here. So if you receive your shells, you will see your shells then. So the first one was mostly chosen by Siren, and it's a very mesmerizing shell for some reason to us both. We were looking at it in the car to our way back, and Sweet Bun named it Elizabeth the shell, so this is Elizabeth the shell, I suppose. It has this cream coloring and very pretty pattern, and on the inside it is a light pink. It almost looks like it's fleshy, but it's not. It's very pretty, and it is a little damaged here, although I did realize that he likes his items a little damaged, metaphors and all. So yeah, this is the first shell. The second one is this one. I love the shape. This one was actually liked by Medusa more. And it is so calcified that it almost appears like a bone and shell in one. I don't know if you can see that texture on it, and the shape of it is just so peculiar. And on the inside it even looks like it has teeth and some flesh, so it appears as almost bone and shell, or a little a piece of a skeleton or of something, so we like that a lot. And the third one was this one. It's very interesting on the inside. It almost looks neon yellow, but the actual point of interest are these imperfections. It almost looks like it had acid dripped on it or something ate through it. However, the inside of the damage has this iridescent shine, and both Sirena and I just found it very of much interest, should I say. And then while we were in the car, I was talking to my father, Sweet Bun, and well, I made note that it looks like your scarring looks when some time passes. It becomes the inside of the larger scarring becomes white and shiny, so the shell and I match. So yes, those are my shells. Those are our shells. They are now on the altar, the main altar. So I hope you enjoyed my shell show off. Yes, I do not think she watches these. I do not think she even knows that I do these, so I'm going to show you some shells we also got for V. I will actually be meeting with V tomorrow because she says that she misses me, so, and I would also like to see her. This small one, because she likes yellowish orange colors. This bluish green one from Sirena. These colors of shells are definitely his. And I also, there is like a whole story between these lighters. I got her a sea-themed lighter. It has little anchors on it. I've been looking for one. I have actually been looking for one that has fish on it, but for some reason I could not find it anywhere. So she's getting this one. So yes, she will receive this tomorrow. None of us actually know where we're going tomorrow. We're just doing something. And this lighter, if you saw on my alt a while ago, I gifted her the blue lighter onto which I drew some fish and spirals, I believe. And I did it with a permanent marker. However, through use, the marker still gets rubbed off, and some months ago, while we had the ability to see each other more often, I would fix the fish and the little drawings on the lighter for her. Every time the drawings got damaged, then I would add something onto it. However, we were not able to see each other at all for a while now, so all of the drawings on the lighter got rubbed off completely. So I wanted to get her a lighter that already has a fish on it, so that the image cannot be rubbed off. Which I know that she prefers me fixing it for her because of, the sentimental value, but while I serve at another location away from her, I think this will be fine enough. Granted, it is not a lighter to light to light cigarettes with, but I mean, maybe she can fry some fish with it, I don't know. She can do with it what she wants. Anyway, let us draw. I hope you have something to do. I did not mean to speak this much this early. But it happened so. So yeah. And to whoever said, asked about chat replay, I already mentioned it, but it should be available for this live as well afterwards. It just takes YouTube some time to process the video fully. So that should be settled. I am glad. I find a lot of Slavic people pronounce certain words very similarly. Because Croatian is very similar to Serbian, is also similar to Czech and Russian in a way, so I reckon all of us pronounce certain words very similarly, both in our languages but also when speaking English. I do not necessarily dislike it, but I do not like it either. It is what it is. It does its job. But I'm glad people find it calming, so. When I was in Germany, I spoke almost exclusively English, both like with everyone, and my accent changed a little bit. You could not tell that I have an accent so much, but now that I'm back in Croatia, when I listen back to myself, you can very clearly see, hear that I have an accent. So that was interesting. Apparently I also have an accent, a very clear one when I speak German. And I honestly cannot really hear different accents when people speak German. I suppose it is something that you hear when you speak it more often. But yes. I like to hear different accents. Good morning. Hold on, I need something for support. Yes, actually. God, the cats were really everywhere and nowhere at once last night. It was a very hard night in regards to them. I do not know what struck them, but they were just, I was waking up every 2 hours because they were going mad. I know I dreamt every time that I fell asleep again. I woke up at 3, 5, 6, 7, and then 10. So, and I went to sleep around, I'm not certain, midnight or 1. So it was, I'm still quite tired from that, unfortunately, but alas, I do not feel sick anymore, so that's a plus. But unfortunately I cannot remember what the dreams were about due to that. Although I am having a lot of would I call them? When I am in between wakefulness and sleep, I get connected to specifically Siren when he was younger very intensely, so that has been going on for a few weeks now. And sometimes I'm not certain whether I'm dreaming or not. It was raining last night. I was hoping that it would rain in the morning as well, but it stopped. I'm almost done with editing the next part of the comic, so that should be out soon as well. Thank you. I'm glad we were able to catch this one. It took me 9 years to speak on camera, but we got there in the end. And it took me about 7 or so to reveal it to other people. For now, I was not thinking about any other equipment. Although I listened to the previous live back, and you can hear me pretty well. You can also hear other sounds better than I thought you would be able to. So. But perhaps I could look into that in the future, but I was not planning on doing so. How do I say your name? Aki? I do not have a set schedule for now. I just kind of go live when I feel like going live. The overall schedule for now is I am aiming for once a week at some point during that week. Now, whether that is in the middle of the night or early in the morning or in the middle of the day, I'm not certain. Because I have to align myself in regards to, hold on, yeah, that's good, in regards to what I have to do in the day, and also in regards to my battery, because every time I stream, the majority of my phone battery gets used up, so I kind of have to juggle multiple things at once to go live, but yes. I'm going to most likely announce them on my alt just before I go live. Or if I find out how to schedule a live, I may also schedule it on here. We'll see. Yesterday, before we went to the museum, my green nebula beads came for the rosary I wish to make for Finnegan or Raphael. So I also got the medallion, the one that I showed on my jewelry account. Although I ordered it later, so it will come a little later. But when all of that comes, I am going to be making the rosary for him. Luckily on here as well. And I also need a wire, which I'm also waiting for. Fortunately, the shipping for such small things is minuscule, so I do not think it will be such a bother to get them. This is not. Hello, passerby. I hope you managed to do anything you set your mind to this morning or this day. How much of his hair do I want? Also, I wanted to say the last live got 150 views. I have no idea where those people came from, but it was curious to see. At some point I'm going to announce it on my main account as well, but for now it should stay like this. I suppose I was just not expecting so many people to be interested in my makings on the live. Also, speaking of Raphael, he's here. I may also work on this at some point, some week, and that is Siren. I have it sketched fully, so this stained glass is going to take me a very long time, but it will be worth it. I think it's more important that this church has a lot of genuinely interested people, which I cherish a lot. Oh, somebody asked me, do you mean a physical gift? Somebody asked me that the last time as well. And in general, the answer is yes. However, I do not have an address to give you aside from my own address, and I am not so comfortable giving people that I do not know my address. Not that I'm assuming that you will do me any harm with knowing it. It's just my thing, a thing that I have. So if I had an address that is not this one, I would be more willing to accept anything that people would wish to send me. And thank you very much for asking. But for now, I would have to figure out how to do that without giving you my address. I feel fine doing that in case I order something and then the person needs to send me the item that I purchased. But when, I don't know how to explain it. I had some bad experiences, and it put me off giving other people my address or my phone number or my anything. I know that people don't actually want to do anything to me by asking, but it's just I don't know. So I have to see whether I can do something in the post office. I never looked into that in detail, so I would have to see. But if somebody wishes to send me something, I would not be opposed to it. I was for a very long time in the past, but I'm not so much anymore, because if it brings you something positive to send me something, then I shall allow that. It is the same with me. I like to gift people things and send people things. We also have these parcel pickup stations. I'm just not certain whether I can give the address for the pickup station, But if that is possible, I would be, I could do that. I need to look into it after this. Is this? We also have about 4 different types of pickup stations. I have not used them so much, only when some of my parcels just randomly end up there, but if they can be used for personal parcels, I mean, why not? Mm. It would just need to be sent with the tracking number, because both I sent parcels without it and other people sent them to me, and more often than not they do not arrive, unfortunately. So although luckily when I'm sending anything from here, you'll automatically get a tracking number. Hi Marinella, thank you. I'm glad you've been enjoying. It's a little crooked, that's fine. I forgot. Spoilers. It's the same. Okay. My fish. That sounds like a beautiful dream. Anytime I dream of him underwater, it's just such an experience and an honor to see him there. It's interesting how much the I wanted to say the people who are more susceptible to it, but even the people who are not get pulled into whatever we are doing here. I am yet to, well, perhaps I never understand it fully, but there is a very notable tie between merfolk or sirens and dreams, and also them and more angelic beings, and that may be just how they naturally are, but I find it truly fascinating. A lot of people have been telling me that they've been dreaming about either sea life, sea animals, or merfolk themselves. I suppose when you think about it in a way, being within the sea is like being in a dream, both when it comes to sight and feeling. You do feel like you are submerged underwater when you're dreaming sometimes. I know that they are technically more merfolk than they are sirens, considering sirens mostly refer to the Greek mythological beings, but I just feel more called to calling them sirens than merfolk, so that's how I've been doing it. Most of the things I do anyway are by feeling. And Siren is a little bit of an exception there anyway. So he's just a special fish. But I wanted to say that I'm looking forward to everyone's entries this year. Especially the sea-related ones. And I love it when people use the prompts to draw the entities they work with or deities. It just fills me with much good energy. I have about 7 pieces planned this year, I think. I have the paper somewhere, I'm just not certain where I put it. Oh, it's here. Six, yes. And I have 3 of those 6 already sketched. This is one of them. It will mostly be Sirena. Yes, he also mentioned the changes throughout the years. When I just started, in truth, I cannot even remember. This is the 9th year, so I started in about 2017 or so. 2018, yes. I cannot even remember why I started doing my own lists. I suppose I just did not like I liked some prompts of multiple lists, and I also had other ideas, so I just made my own, I suppose. I cannot remember. But I also changed a lot over the years, so my spirits change with me, and so does the prompt list. When you change, everything else changes with you. Which is neutral in how it presents itself, but it can be positive if you use it in a positive manner. The one-word prompts still do make an appearance here and there, although I feel like I did a couple of the dialogue prompts one year and I enjoyed them way more, so I try to make them more poetic, or choose the more poetic ones, because they have not usually been used before, and I find them more inspiring than the usual prompt lists. I also went from doing every prompt to doing a couple, but I think it's the spirit of it, you know. And I like that there is no pressure to do every single one. I never really saw that as the point of the drawing in October, more as like a community happening. So what you manage, it's just important to enjoy yourself. I still do like more macabre themes and visuals, but I do not need so much gore anymore, considering I'm not venting so much these days. And it's more of a animals killing for food type of gore than it is humans killing for pleasure, if that makes sense. It's more natural. And I realized that I like to show emotions in different ways these days, aside from gore. There's going to be one entry with it's very loud outside today. With Siren when he was younger, that won't really have that much gore in it, but it will be quite heavy. Do I like it like this actually? With him younger. Greetings, Charles. I loved your last painting. And don't worry about the time. Time is a human concept anyway. You have all the time you need. Also, I can ask you now, is it Maud, Maud or Maude? I doubt it is the third one, because that's not how you pronounce those names, but I wanted to ask anyway, so please let me know so I know. Wonderful greeting. Okay, so Maud or Maud. If you make any art of her, I will be glad to see it. Although, any art you make, I will be glad to see it, but considering we are submerged at this time. Also, I did not answer you yet, but I did see the messages, and you said that you expected my voice to sound more like a voice of someone who does not use it much. Contrary to what you may think, I use my voice fairly often. However, the thing is that I talk more when I am alone than I speak when I am around people. So, and I am at home the majority of the time. Well, less than I was before, but still. And I speak to them more than I talk to other people, so I use my voice a fair amount. Just if you saw me around other people, you would think that I never talk much. So that is why it is not as raspy as you would assume it would be. Also, yes, for now I do have a normal human voice. Although I would truly love to sound like Bishop, who has about 3 different voices speaking at the same time. But alas, for now I have a normal human body and a normal human vocal cords. As does everyone else. Especially, yes, if you heard me in dreams, I sound way different. And people actually hear me about the same in dreams with some alterations. But the frequency certainly changes. It's the same with them. I also hear their frequency differently when we interact in dreams and they speak to me directly, and when they carry something over while I'm awake, it's also different. It is never a voice as such, but there is also a difference. But you know, the energy is about the same. I also hear Mala different than I hear myself, so I reckon that I sound like Mala, like I sound to other people when they dream of me. Although Mala has a frequency of voice that I cannot really describe. And shadow or reversed also has a different frequency than Mala does. I think that happens with everybody. Who has such experiences? Let me just check my battery. I'm doing pretty well. I tried to set the camera up more in a flatter way. Which would be better for you, and then I could turn the camera over so you can see it exactly as I'm drawing it. The problem with that is that the only light I currently have is from above me. So when I set the camera up like here, there is a very noticeable shadow on the drawing So you would not be able to see what I'm doing, and I would not be able to see what I'm doing. So the camera for now has to be like this. So the mystical camera way is going to have to be like this until I find a better way. And I do have a desk lamp, but I had a very good desk lamp for about 10 years and it died shortly after I came back here. And I was not able to find the same one. And I got another one, which is way too bright for me. So I only use it when I need some low light during the evening. And I don't use it on my actual desk because it's too bright for me. So that was my mistake. But if I at some point get a desk lamp that actually works, I may be able to set the camera up in a better way, but we will get to it. You're going to see the drawing anyway, so you're not missing out on much. It is just a little bit of an inconvenient way. It does not really matter if I'm making jewelry, but with drawing it's a little bit inconvenient. It's the first Saturday in the month, don't panic. Although I hate those sirens myself. Not these, those. Also, it's noon. And I live close to the thing again. They make me so anxious every time they have to test them. God. They also have this thing in the capital. They have a cannon that was used in about a very long time ago in the Middle Ages or something, and it goes off at noon every day. And if you are unaware that we have a cannon that goes off every day at noon, the first time you hear it, you think that we're being attacked from somewhere, and that happened multiple times in the city, so that's a bit also inconvenient. But yeah, a lot of anxiety producing noises here in Croatia, but it is how it is, unfortunately. But I think most countries have the sirens once a month just to test them in case of emergency. The cannon, though, is a very Croatian thing, I think. I do not think most countries have just a cannon that randomly goes off. I mean, not randomly, but you know. There is a lot of old architecture and old parts of the city that are still intact, so a lot of them are still used here. Hello, it is good to see you. I mentioned you last. First of all, I'm very sorry about the messages. You know how I am, but still, forgive me. Secondly, I mentioned you last stream. When you get the chance, please send me the image of please send me the image of your rosary. and I'm going to answer soon. You're not the only one who's been waiting for a while. I just, yes. I even pin your chats to answer, and then they remain pinned and judging me for weeks on end. And every day I tell myself I will answer today, and then I disappear into the void and don't answer. But it was good to see you. I'm glad you made it. Hello, Carla. I also have some coffee. I think you waited enough for your rosary. I'm not going to make it yet, but I would like to prepare at least the base materials for what I will need. Mostly the color of the wire and jump rings and everything, which I currently have a good amount of, but still. Also, when I start making rosaries for other people, you are going to be the first one I make it for, considering you've been waiting for over a year now, and you're the first one who ever asked, so yeah. I would just like to prepare so I can make it quicker. And if you would not be opposed to it, I can also make it on live so you can see me making it. I'm not sure if people would like that or not, but that is also a possibility that I can do. So you can see me make your piece. You have the patience of a saint, as they will say. Although there is a Croatian saying, ko čeka, taj i dočeka, which translates to something like, who waits, he awaits. Or more literally, that is a more literal translation, but it is more like within the meaning, it means who waits, he receives what he waits for. So it is basically saying that patience is a virtue. And it is, in some cases it is. But yes, I would like to make yours soon. And then see how I'm feeling making it for others, and then I have a whole list, but I think I'm going to ask again who would like one. And then I also have to figure out the pricing and everything, but we will get to it. But I have certainly been enjoying not feeling a certain pressure with drawing, so I can draw whatever I like at any time I like. And I don't feel like I'm running out of time. They're holding the field so steadily still, and it's been about 2-3 months. And usually with the others I can kind of feel them. It is not their fault, I should say. It is just how the majority of them have been by now. But they, I feel them very steadily, and the rest I can usually feel going through a certain process, so I know approximately when it will end. And I've kind of made peace with that. So it's been pleasant to just know that I have time and space to work with them at my own pace. I get my sketchbooks from, there's a store, an art store here. Not here, actually, in the main capital. I always get the same one, and I've been getting the same one since, what number is this? It's 12. I've been, well, it's actually 13 because I also have one for jewelry. I don't think I have, I don't have the sticker anymore. It's a Canson sketchbook, I think. Hold on. I've been getting the same one since the third one I had. I will try to find the sticker. Hold on. Hold on. How do I show it? Can you see it? It's this one. It's Canson Art Book 1 with these measurements. Can you see it? Yes, you can see it. So it's this one. And I always get the same one. And you can get the spiral bound one, like this one. I prefer these because I can fold the first page. But I also had these when they are not spiral bound. They have an edge like this. And they are fine to use. I took one of these because they did not have any more spiral ones, but when I use these, I cut every single piece of paper out and then I use them like this because it's just easier for me. Oh man, I should not look at these old things that I never finished. I need to post some of these sketches of Alaric that I did. I almost finished it. Oh, and Coletta. Yes. And Dr. Guy with with her. Yeah. Who was here? Oh, it's the, yes. It's you. Oh my goodness, I forgot. Okay, I'm not going to, okay. Okay, let's draw. But that's the sketchbook that I'm using. And I really like, the paper is not too thick, it is not too thin. The tint of the paper is perfect, not too white, not too yellow. And it takes the medium that I'm using. It certainly depends on what you draw with, but since I use mostly pens and some markers, it's perfect for me. I do just prefer to put another piece of paper behind it so nothing leaks onto the other page, because that tends to happen if you use markers, if you layer them. So if you also use lighter materials, I do recommend this sketchbook. Or at least that weight of paper. Speaking of, this is my last one, but it's the newest one, so I have quite a bit to go. But yeah, these are the best. They also have them in smaller sizes, so if you work on a smaller size, you can find them probably. Thank you for coming, Aki. I hope to see you again. And when I check for the parcels, I will tell you my findings. But thank you for asking again and for coming. Take care as well. Teddy has, I would not go there for paper or any art supplies. You expect to be quality. I mean, there can be some good, there are some that are passable personally, but most of them are better to get more quality ones in an art store than go there. But I understand if you have no other choices that you have to do so, but I do recommend this one. Certainly, you can also order them online. I've done so once during the quarantine because I could not get them physically. Or depending on where you live, you can look up the art stores in your area, and maybe they also, and either make a trip to there and get more art supplies at once, or some stores do delivery, so maybe you can also get them like that. That notebook is my oniric notebook in which I write dreams and readings. I've not written anything in it since May, I think, and I really should, but oh, the fish are, yes, I have a lot going on. So also my dream notebook has been a little bit neglected. I still do write them in notes, but I like to write them in the notebook as well. You will have to excuse the children noises once again. There's a playground in front of the church, which is very on brand with the church, but you know. So I suppose we have a grave ground, a playground and a graveyard at the same time in front. There's two different locations, it is not the singular location. This is just a big pen, I think. No? Yes. You can find them fairly easily. This one is like a middle intensity. These ones are one of the best. It's Optima brand. I doubt that you can find them in Germany. These ones are one of the best pens I've ever found, and I think I found them in like a corner art shop here, and only they sell it. I swear the most unknown art shops have the best supplies. These are the most intense ones, and with these I do most of the line art and everything. These ones you can find in Germany, I'm pretty certain. I sketch with because they are very faint, but they are perfect for sketching because you can easily layer them, and I also use them for shading. And this one, I have no idea where I got it. It is the darkest red I have, and I have only a couple of them left, and I've not been able to find them again. So that's unfortunate. I use it mostly for shading Medusa's locks. So I save this and use it only for one purpose, because I do not have them anymore and I cannot find them anymore. But yes, if you would like, these are very cheap. These are like 50 cents per pen. If you would like, I can send you some, but they are very good. So just tell me if you would like it and I can send you some in package. I also sometimes use this one. You can also find them in art stores or in Miller if you have Miller. They are, it's a little thicker, the pen, but I also sometimes use it for skin shading. Like I use this for the base, and then I shade the base of the skin, if that makes sense. You will see it now when I start. And that's about it. Those are the best ones. I also have this one in black. I really need to find these again, they're amazing. I love them. But those are the bases that I use. And I also press quite hard on the paper, so if you would like a lighter effect, you just have to be a little lighter with your hands. This is also probably why I have problems with my wrist on occasion, but you know, it is how it is. I will. Just not tomorrow. The store is quite near to me, so I can go get some on Monday. I'm actually going to write that down right now because otherwise I'm going to forget. Because of the amount of fish on my mind. We have made a note. This is why I have this here, because I need to write down everything, otherwise I will forget. That is just how it is when you work with spirits. You have just so many streams of thought on your mind that you forget the most basic things, which I enjoy, not the forgetting the streams of thought, but you have to. But yes, I will send it to you. Just please message me or whatever address you would like me to send them to. Also, if you use these, they last an impressive amount of time. So they last a very long time. I also have these in black, but since I used to render everything on paper as well, but I do this I do not really do this that much anymore. I normally just draw everything in red and then I paint over it digitally, so I do not use the black ones so much anymore, but they are also very good for shading. Mm. Mm. Oh, don't worry yourself with it. You can just send me the address. I forgot what we were talking about last time anyway. People do not need to reply to everything I send them. Sometimes I just like to send messages, so says me, who also takes a month to respond to somebody, but you know, it just is like that. So if you do not feel like replying, you can just send me the address for now and reply when you feel like it. But yeah, no pressure. And then I'm probably going to send them the day I get them. I just have to package them. Excuse me. I have another package to send to somebody from the US, so I just need to write something. So maybe I send both the same day. I really should do that one day. I have like I have a whole package shelf, but I'm still collecting some things for some people, so yes. It is like that in the church. I said once that I would love to gift you things, and you know what? I can make that become a real. Oh yes, I recall now. No, I don't want to put. Also, I thought about this only after the last time there was a whole meeting, when the two Italians in the chat were talking about when Kia asked about rosary supplies. Arsene sent me ones that I've never seen anywhere, and I've already said like Italy probably has a lot of rosary supplies. So maybe Arsene can tell me where she bought the ones she sent me, and then I can tell you the type of store she found them in. But I'm kind of just imagining that Italy has rosary supplies also everywhere, or at least in very many spaces. You send me most of you mostly sent me the connectors, the flowers and the suns. And what else? Yes, you also sent me some centerpieces and the beads. I do not actually know where you or they live, but maybe there is the same type of store near each other, so near where the two of you live, so yes. Sirena had shoulder-length hair for about 2 drawings, and since then it has been just never-ending hair, and that always happens with me. Although it makes sense in his case, but you know. Also, I'm so glad to draw Finnegan again with his actual hair texture. I can feel him much better this time than I did when Kreos and Litera were here, so he is meant to have wavy hair. He looks weird now when I look at older pieces of him with straight hair. Well, it was wavy-ish, but this is much better. And Medusa just has long hair normally. Tentacle hair. He also has something on him that you will see soon. You may have seen it, like a sneak peek of it in the things that I've posted for now. But in one drawing that I'm going to finish for October, you will see a very interesting thing on his person. I love it when people stand in the middle of the road and everyone can hear what they're talking about. I see. Yeah, unfortunately, it is like that here as well. You really just have to walk around and see what you can find, or ask previous stores if they know another store. Yeah. I also wondered often what kind of incense stores you have there, because of course I did. I think if I ever went to another country, I need to finish a singular thought at once. And now I forgot what I wanted to say. This is great. Yeah, if I ever went to Italy, I would just be looking for incense stores. I'm really curious about what type of incense you have there. And there was, I think, it's unfortunate that I did not find any like that in Germany. I did find one store in a larger city that sold, that was kind of like more ethnic, spiritual, I do not know what you would call it, but they did not really have incense there. And I went there a couple of times. But I could not really find any other such stores near anywhere I lived, I do not think. I think I looked a couple of times. I did not really have the will to go anywhere anyway, but it's unfortunate that I did not find any there, and I couldn't really light incense before, but still. Although that store had the most beautiful angel aura shards that I cannot find anywhere else, and it's unfortunate that I think I took 2 or 3 shards and I sent 2 to other people, and I saved one. It's in the net on my necklace. It's a shame that I did not take anymore, because I could not find those almost unpolished shards anywhere else, and they were so very beautiful, and I couldn't find those anywhere else. So I remember that store by those. Maybe I was just not in that kind of space there. Also, I'm glad you are enjoying the incense I sent you. Arsen. Guilty as charged. I love it when I send people a package and they say that they can smell it from the corridor. I'm like, yes, this is my purpose in life. To send you packages you can smell from a mile away. I love scents, which I did not know until I moved here. I did not know many things until I moved here, to be frank. Hem is a very popular incense. They are similar to Satya. It's a very popular incense brand, so if you have any incense stores near you, you can probably find the frankincense and myrrh mixture I sent you. And also if you see Satya, they also have some quite good scents that I burn for them as well, so if you would like to try some, I do recommend them. And I think I sent you white rose from Darshan. It is also a good brand, but any incense you get from there, the scent is going to be way more potent. So just, if you do not like potent smells, perhaps not that brand, but they are quite good scent-wise. I know a lot about incense, as you may be able to see. Oh, I hope she recovers. Yeah, there's always going to be something going on. I hope for everything to go well and that they can help her. So much good energy to you and Yoshi, and thank you for coming for a little while. I hope everything goes well, and thank you for coming as well, Arsen. I hope you have a calm day, and I hope you can rest some soon, Carla. Please pet Yoshi for me as well, and I hope she feels better soon. never actually heard about cherry eye, but by the name, I do not think it is anything good. Although I hope that they're able to help her. Yeah, I know how it is with your animal companions. The thing with Foxy really just, oof, did a number on me as well. But I hope you can rest soon, so. Maybe when I get some things finished, I can send you some incense as well, like I mentioned. So yeah, but it's good that you're taking to the vet, and they know what to do with animals who are in pain, so I'm certain that they're going to be able to help her. Oh yeah. It's always going to be like that with them, I think. Unfortunately. But I think she appreciates a lot to have her as well. To have you to take care of her. Ah, I see. Yes. I hope for the best. I've never, I think I only, for the Japanese incense, I've never tried them. But are these the like really thin stick ones? If you're talking about those, I've seen them before only once in real life, but I've never tried lighting them. I've never tried, but I would like to. Although I did try some, they are Tibetan incense, and they are similar. I tried those before. But I do prefer the usual ones, or just burning resin. But yes, I would like to try the Japanese incense at some point. I'm very interested in how they make it. And I've also seen that there is a rope incense that goes into a holder that is spiral shaped. I do not actually know how they work. I've never tried lighting them, but I've seen that they exist, and I'm also curious about those. I cherish you as well. I just wish that you had more time to rest, mentally at least, but alas, I think there's always going to be something going on, judging by how it is with me, or well, with us. When you have some base issues, there's always going to be something, unfortunately, but there can be times where your quality of life is better regardless. Thank you for coming, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Please have a peaceful day. and thank you for saying goodbye. Yeah, I talked about that with somebody. It kind of feels strange to be in a somewhat better place right now, even though objectively it feels better, of course, but when you're in a bad place, since you know of yourself being in a good place in very many ways, in literally all aspects of your life, it's very, it's still jarring to me sometimes. But I guess it takes a while to get used to it. I don't know, not to make it about myself. I've just thought about this in regards to you and some other people. I guess I just wish that everyone had a better quality of life, but I know that it's not always possible. So it's also jarring in that sense. So I don't know. I mean, you can get used to pretty much everything, so you can get used to the worse as you can get used to the better, but it's just, I don't know how to describe what I'm thinking about. The hair is finished. I don't feel guilty anymore, but I did for a period, which is strange to say, I think. Not strange, but you know, the feeling is not rational, as it often tends to happen. I'm kind of learning to live with it. Yes, I think so as well. You can always do something with what you have. And I think there is a way to get more. I just cannot always say what that way is. I can say for myself, but not for other people, unfortunately. But, and of course, this train of thought is very subjective when it comes to myself. You know, based on personal experiences and what I've seen other people do. There is just always this strange thing of some people seem to figure it out, and then for others, I suppose, it was just not meant to be. I don't know. But I think it's good to have hope, because if you don't have hope, you don't have anything. And I think it's always good to take a step back and look at your situation from a different perspective. Because when you feel unwell, you tend to look at things without any context to them, and that's never helpful or good. So when you contextualize your thoughts, they become more realistic and easier to bear, I suppose. And some turn out to be not so bad, especially when it comes to what you think about yourself. My train of thought just went in an entire different direction. But yeah, I think about these things a lot. I don't know. I'm also trying to do the best with what I have. And just accept that not everything is going to turn out like I would like it to be, but there's probably a reason for it. Especially when it comes to other people, but I'm better when it comes to that these days. You just kind of have to act from a genuine place and let things act back to you. And that's how I feel it turns out to be for the better. Thank you. I think a lot. And I don't think in circles anymore, so I suppose the thoughts, I think and I listen and I read, so I'm just trying to improve my quality of life, I suppose, and try to do so for others, and try to contextualize my life. And make my energy be for the better, for people and for my company. And yeah, sometimes you have to let some people figure it out. All you can do is all you can do, you know. And sometimes it's enough, and sometimes it will take some more time. So I do all I can do. And that's okay. It's good to know how to let things go. I think I'm going to edit this differently because his scarring is healed. Let me just. Yes. Working with spirits really does change the way you think on a like a core level of being, especially when you mature through the years. Yes, because it's at some point trying to fix somebody else hurts you more than it helps them. And yeah, you have to make peace with the fact that you cannot love somebody into changing themselves. But I think still showing them love is a good thing, because it may prompt them to want to change themselves, but you cannot change anyone really, not directly. But more positive influences may place them in that direction in life. And sometimes, it's better to let some people go, even though you may not want to do that in the moment. If you're not compatible anymore, it will of course be hurtful, but it will make more space for you to receive somebody who is better for you. And if the relationship does nothing but take from you, then at least you will not be exhausted by the other person. And the other person may need some more time or work on themselves, or sometimes some people will just never change, and you have to accept that and move on with your life. But yes, certainly, making peace with the fact that all you can do is all you can do does a lot for you in life. And just not spend energy on things that are not in your control. You also kind of start to realize that you can do more than you thought that you could. At least I did. When you stop trying to control everything, it's kind of a paradoxical realization. But when people talk to me about the fact that they cannot find people they align with, it is very difficult for me to, I can easily advise on why not to stay around the person who is hurting you, but when it comes to inviting other people into your life, I still do not have an answer for that. Because personally, one advice I can give is that making peace with being alone, when you stop forcing something, it will come to you. If you keep forcing it, it won't. It may, but not in the way you are supposed to receive it, to benefit you. So, considering I've always made peace with being alone, people that I align with just come to me, and that is not something that I can advise, really, because it is like a personal practice. So it just kind of flows with me, and always had. And but yes, I don't know how to advise. Well, working on yourself is certainly one aspect of it, but what that means will differ from person to person, because when you change yourself, you can observe people in a different way. And there is also a very fine line with being alright with somebody having something about themselves that does not fully align with you, and then the two of you work through the things you cannot really stand in each other, and just allowing yourself to be used. And that is also something that you need to define that line for yourself. But yeah, communication is very important there. It's sometimes strange to advise people when Sometimes I truly feel like they bring people that I need into my life when I need them. So I just kind of let things happen to me, and they just always happen to me. So I've never really actively searched for having friends or acquaintances or people that I enjoy. They just happened naturally. And I think that is how it always should be. But yeah, I don't know how to normally make friends. And that is one thing that I wished I could advise better on, but alas. I am a hermit priest at the end of the day. Sometimes I just feel like saying use magic and ending the conversation. I don't, but you know, that's how it would sound like. I don't know. Life is complicated, but it's also way simpler than you think. Life just is, you know. And also one thing about that, if you keep having the same problems with various different people, the only constant in that situation is yourself, so it's probably something in you. I also realized that on myself. So it's probably something in you that makes you have the same problem with various different people, because the people are different and you are the same. And coming to terms with that is also quite beneficial, because then you can observe your behavior a little better. I mean, there are always cases in which you keep running, which is, yeah, I wanted to say there is also a case when you keep running into the same type of person and then the same type of thing keeps happening to you. But you are again the constant in that line of happenings, and you may be allowing a worse type of person to come to you again and again, which is also something in you that's common in abusive relationships, but that's a whole nother topic. So yeah, I just kind of talked myself back into the first thought that I had. And it's also good to realize that, you know, you being the constant is not necessarily you being the problem, it's just you being the catalyst. So, black and white thinking is not beneficial. And change is not negative, it's just difficult, but it's not negative. It brings something new to you that you may need. Yeah, I think about these things a lot. Alright. Am I out of frame a little bit? A little bit. Is this better? Yes. Also, I'm almost finished. Most of this will be in editing. Let me just check this. That's fine. I also need to keep an eye on my battery so I don't just get swallowed by the void without meaning to. But it's been holding up pretty well. I need a paper. looking forward to the next parts of the comic so much. Especially because of Medusa, and also you will meet somebody who meant a lot to Siren when he was younger, so I'm very, I'm looking forward to drawing him. You will see two other new people, and for one person I'm not looking forward to, but for the other, I'm looking forward to drawing him for him. He will soon find out why a lot of his part of the altar is priest themed and has some Christian items on there, aside from being connected to Finnegan. Yeah, I do not speak much, but if you catch me in one of those streams of thoughts, I will go off unintentionally. I am as well. Change is always possible, but it's certainly not. Everyone has a chance, but not everyone has the strength, and I am also very glad for where we are. And I hope you will be in an even better environment in the future, however that may look like for you. But yeah. Strangely enough, sometimes just being how you are changes other people and how they think, because they see someone else and they just realize some things are possible in spite of everything. It really does not take that much to move somebody. They just have to be in the right time in their life. For some people that comes faster, for some slower. I have to pay attention because last time I shaded his whole face, and then I remembered that he has the mark on his left side, and I had a minute of suffering, and then I got over it. I think it will always be okay in a way, and I think it will always not be okay in some other way. But I think that there is I think you need to be in a beneficial enough environment to be able to handle and realize that there is a balance there, so that when you are okay, you can allow yourself to feel okay, and that when you're not, you have a strong enough support network to balance you out again and aid you should you need aid. So I think it's again not always a constant, but it's just the nature of it all. I am rambling myself, don't worry. And I love finding people who I can get into these conversations with, which is the majority of the people in my life now. We always end up on these topics, and honestly, they are good topics. They are necessary topics for certain, even if not good sometimes. Oh, my pen bled. I will fix it in editing. I would like to, just a second. Okay. I have to remember not to lean in too close. Because you're watching me. You're keeping an eye on me. Which also made me realize how close to the papers I get sometimes when I'm doing some detailing. That's good. It's so beautiful. My fish. Yes, I have to be on my best behavior. And also I think my bones would appreciate it as well. Although I think we all turn into a shrimp while drawing at some point. It's me going back to my sea roots and turning into a shrimp while I draw. Speaking of shrimp, I see more shrimp in the chat. Speaking of shrimp, I swam for not too long because the sea was Sweetbun would say that the sea was not cold. It was cold for me, okay? I swam for a little while. It was very enjoyable, but my skin was so good the rest of the day, and then I realized that I truly am meant to live in the sea with the rest of the merfolk, and I would have the best skin in the world. And then the next day I was back to well, this. But yes, I'm seeing all of you shrimp. Stop shrimping. And go stretch a little bit. I should do some yoga at some point, but energy and time, both of which are lacking. Also, I'm looking forward to drawing. I will also be doing the thalassophobia prompt with him. Looking forward to drawing it because I have a certain amount of thalassophobia myself. When it comes to deep waters that I cannot see the bottom of, so he does reach nightmare territory for me sometimes, and I love it. My clairvoyance is always on point. Claircognizance, actually. I just know. I be knowing, as the youngins would say. Sometimes I know things that I would rather not know, but alas, that happens with him and with Medusa. We all know. We all just know. Sometimes you just know. Fish. Yes, much scary fish time. I love my scary fish. Oh, I showed you the shells, but I did not show you our other guest, which is... Should I show you our other guest right now? I should. Behold. Fortune teller, miracle fish. It is the fish. It's Sirena. Let me show you him telling me my future. Hold on, I need to get the fish out. Hold on. This is going to be a visual representation of how it is to work with sirens. Share your wisdom with me, fish. Oh, fish is escaping. What does the fish say? The fish is telling me that I am passionate. The fish knows everything. I love this fish so much. Look at him. I am so passionate. He's curling up entirely. There he is. He told me my future as was prophesied. If you ever find this fish, do make them tell you your future. Curls up entirely, passionate. I am very passionate, so much so that he is escaping from my hand. There we are. I got my future told by, my fortune told by the miracle fish. They are very thin plastic fish. Yes, and they are made from plastic that I'm going to break the fortune teller illusion. Forgive me, fish. They are made from plastic that reacts to the temperature and moisture on your hand. So when they are dry and you place them on your palm, they react and fold in different ways, depending on how hot and how much moisture you have on your palm. So yeah, they're very fun. I love them. Fortune teller fish. Since I saw that post on accident, and then I remembered that they existed again, and then I had to find one for Siren, and then I just placed the fish on my hand throughout the day and watch it move, and it's filling me with much joy. I never went to an arcade. I do not think I ever will, but yeah, unknown territory, blame, but apparently known territory for miracle fish. Also, hello, rat. Yes, thank you for your prompts. They were very good. I do not think I asked people to submit prompts for at least 1 year because I had planned it myself, so I kind of just went by how I wanted it to be. But this year I felt like asking people to submit, and I'm glad that I did because people had some very, very inspiring submissions. So I think yours was All Monsters Are Men, and another one that I cannot think of right now, but I'm going to use that one. It's very good. Fits him very well. Mangled Love, yes. Oh, I would love to read your poetry. There is one account, I'm uncertain whether they are still active, but there is one account that always writes little stories for my prompts. At least they have been for a couple of years, and I always like to read the little stories. So I like it when people use the prompts to do also other things aside from drawing. I love any type of art people do with the prompts. It's very beautiful to see the variety of skill people have in the church. Some people were knitting last year as well. Much fun. And I'm thinking about making a rosary for some of the prompts. What was the Deadly Waters is going to be a rosary, and the Divine Cure is also going to be a rosary for Finnegan. So I'm going to make a drawing and make a rosary based on a prompt. I'm also thinking about finishing all of the drawings for October in September, so I can work on the comic in October and just post the drawings. I will see. I used to do it like that always, so I was prepared. But yes. I'm getting a little tired. talk more than I do in a month in these streams, which is for now a little tiring until I get used to it. Usually when I'm around people, I mostly listen to them talk. You're welcome. I'm glad you're feeling a little bit better. Yes, I assume that it was you. Also, again, I hope Yoshi will be better and it will be okay. As we have concluded, it will be okay. So, take care of yourself and you will get through the issues that come up. Also, yes, I assume that it was you because wasn't your username something monarchy at some point? Or you had like a second account or something? Anyway, I assume that it was you. I'm very glad to see you here. So hello. I just forgot to tell you hello when I saw you in the chat. People just come and go in the hall. I don't know who I said hi anymore. So many people. But yes, you also had some very good suggestions, so I had to include them. So thank you very much for submitting your prompts. And if you will be participating, I will be glad to see what you come up with. Let me just see. That's fine. I need some more agua, wait. I hope all 8 of you are having some agua near you right now. You best. You best be. Hold on, give me a minute. A minute. Just wanted to place the shells back on the altar and stand up a little bit because I am glad. This is why I said I forgot to show our second guest, the fortune teller, like a fish. I mean, you have to know what is awaiting you in the stream, right? What if I show you the fortune fish and you get perplexed? You get surprised by the fish, sudden fish appearance. Also, I like to think someone is going to see the title. I have absolutely no idea what's going on. That's also very good. We have to keep up some mystique here. Please share. Minutes. I know how it is. I cannot even pinpoint the exact cause of my own anxiety when it comes to my main sometimes, but it is not even necessarily the amount of people or the fact that it is public. It is just something, I'm not sure, but I also experience it on and off. I feel like I can post whatever I want on my alt because well, it's my alt and people are not really expecting anything much. And you know, realistically, I can post whatever I want on my main because it is my main. But still, I don't know. It's just something in my mind that's not quite correct there. Oh my god, my voice is going now. Mm-hmm. I'm starting to get a little bit of a headache, so I think I'm going to go up to my chamber soon and finish this while listening to sad music. And then I will see what is happening tomorrow, aside from meeting with V. So also my child is coming back today, so more things are happening. Once I get used to conversing more, I think it will be easier for me. I'm just used to being very silent. Next time I'm either going to be working on a rosary if all of my supplies come, or I'm going to work on more Gertover pieces. Depending on when I go live again. I may even work on the comic as well, which would be nice for a change. I say after 2 streams, but you know. I'm assuming that everyone has this in the background while they are doing something of theirs, so I suppose it does not matter that much what I work with, so what I work on. This is fine. Even the church cannot protect you from your in-person responsibilities, I say. Considering the church is quite high up in the forest, I find it even more amusing to think about that, to think about the mailman having to hike up to the church just to deliver the voting letter. At least the mailman got some exercise. Please do tell him to have some tea if he wants. Then he can go back down. What game are you playing? Imagining the mailman coming into the hall and just dying from hiking up for like 4 to 5 minutes is actually pretty funny. I forgot the name you go by, but hello, Mortis. I wish I used to live, I live in the road is very near me, and so is the playground. I live further away from the city, but I live quite near the road, unfortunately. And near the train tracks, so if you ever hear the train, yeah, that's just where I was placed. But I did live in the in a more rural area when I was like years and years ago now, and I always enjoyed the peace and the nature sounds and no car sounds whatsoever. I lived in a lot of villages when I was younger, and that's one of the things that I remembered that I liked from there. It's just peace and quiet, and peace and quiet. The mailman signed up for this when he became the mailman. Some physical exercise is good for him as well, I'm certain. Also, they are greeting you back, Carla. Very kind of you. We take good care of each other here, as you know. I started making anointing oils again, and Sirena absolutely eats any candle that I anoint and dress for him, and it's been wonderful. He really likes those. I want to do one for everyone else here. I already have them, the colors of the candles, so that's also been a newer thing that we've been enjoying. People usually anoint and dress candles for spells and manifestation, but I like to do that for as little gifts for them, if you will. You can also tell that I'm getting tired because my speech is getting worse. But yeah, I'm waiting. I would like to get a tobacco candle for Medusa and then anoint a candle for him. And some of them really like that. So it's always a pleasure to do that for them. The light blue one, I think I showed the end stages of it, was that light blue color I associate with Sirena, and then the darker blue I associate with Medusa. If you saw the two aqua or shards that I have, they're on the altar right now. The darker one is the captain's, and the other one is Sirena's. So I choose candles of the same color for them. And I made a lavender anointing oil for him, and for Medusa I'm still thinking about it. For Finnegan it will be either myrrh or frankincense or both, and then I'm going to dress it in whatever he prefers. There is also, aside from incense and candles, I've been looking at oils as well now, and there is a merfolk oil, like a mermaid oil, that I'm very interested in trying. I also like to make those oils as a perfume, so I wear them as perfume as well. If you would like to make them more skin friendly, it's good to use coconut oil, so you can wear them as perfume as well if your skin is not sensitive. So I like to do that as well. And yes, no wonder Sweetbun likes to sniff me anytime we meet, considering I anoint myself like a candle, and he works with disinfectant the entire day. So I'm like the personification of aromatherapy for him. But yes, that's been very enjoyable. Oh, my fish. Hello. I'm actually going to go fairly soon, but it's good to see you. Opal is very beautiful. A couple of you here like opal. It has that very similar shimmer to it, like the aqua aura has. I just have such a connection with the aura variation of quartz. Mostly dream related, but also water, so that's just been my stone. But I'm always interested in what stones people feel drawn to. Yes, I'm going to listen to them and reply to them soon. I asked about your company because I was actually interested, and then things just keep happening, as you know. So, but I'm definitely going to listen to them. I'm always very interested to know who other people work with or have around this company. So another angel, I see. I hope you all have been taking good care of each other there as well. And anyone else here who has their own company or companies. No, I do not feel pressured. I just genuinely wish to reply soon. The problem that I've had for a couple of times now is that I sit on the bed to reply to messages and then I fall asleep. So, yes. I'm trying to sleep more, but it's not really been working out for me. Maybe soon enough, now that it's getting colder outside. I still have those angel Laura beads. I took apart the rosary that I made. I think I named it Spirit Anchor. The rosary I made in Germany, I took it apart because the wire I used was not stainless steel, and anyway, I did not like it, so I took it apart. And the beads are a little bit too big. I prefer to work with 0.6 or 7 millimeter beads if I am going to wear them. And I'm certainly going to still make something with it. However, I've been thinking about getting 0.6 or 7 angel aura beads and making not a rosary but a japa mala from them. I just need to get thin enough thread for that because mala wears one. So I've been wanting to make that for myself that I would actually wear. So that's also something that I've been thinking about. I think that would be very nice. it's an individual piece. In the title I tagged Gortober. It's a piece for 2 prompts from the list. It was not, but it is now. It's Sirena singing to somebody. I will talk about it more when I post. But Sirena sings to hypnotize and kill, and Medusa dances for the same purpose. So I wanted to make 2 separate pieces of him showing his power, let's say, and then another for Medusa later. And yeah, there's a lot about this piece that is like contradictory with itself. Because Sirena was human born, he was not a siren from birth, and it's kind of a blessing and a curse that he became a siren later in life, because he doesn't really want to be desired in any way, and then he becomes a type of creature that is basically, you know, like a Venus flytrap, but that people desire, you know, because he's supposed to be hypnotic. So it's kind of like a very polarized part of himself. And when he sings, you can really feel and see that he is not actually into it. He just does it to do it, to get to, you know, the drowning part or whatever he has in mind. But when Medusa dances, you cannot actually tell whether he's just really enjoying himself or whether he has another motive for it. Although Medusa certainly kills way less than Sirena does. He's actually he's a pacifist, so if he does not need to kill, he won't. Sirena is on the complete other side of the spectrum. There is I'm looking forward to drawing that as well if I get to it, which I hopefully will. There is a comic that I may get to in the future where Sirena sings, Medusa dances, but Sirena also hums to soothe himself, and Medusa also dances to soothe himself. So there is a part in the comic after they have very heavily emotional time where they sing, where they dance together while Sirena hums, and it's just a very pleasant time on the ship. I love them so much. They complement each other so well. I cannot wait to get more into the comic and start drawing them together. They are just, they are everything to me. They align with each other perfectly. My fish. think I'm going to be finishing this in my own time. So I think I'm going to be going now. I'm almost done anyway, I just have to shade the rest and do some other details, and then he's done, and then I edit him, and that's it. Let me show you. Opa. Before I leave, to leave on a positive note, here are the fish enjoying each other. So, you will see him in his full glory soon. Thank you very much for coming, and I hope you had a good time. I had a good time. And yes, thank you from the side of my fish as well. And I hope you have a calm day. And yeah, see you next time I decide to go live. Have a lovely day. Blessed be.